Na, aztán már itt is vagyok. Na, hát akkor újra sziasztok, üdvözlök mindenkit. Volt az előbb egy kis technikai malőr, de ez megoldódott. Folytatjuk tovább az Avowed végigjátszásunkat. Ugye legutóbb kiszabadítottuk Sapadált, ami hát vagy jó döntés volt, vagy nem, de utána feltűnően egy teleport visszarepített minket a kezdővárosba, de ott meg háborúban elég keményen, elvileg, mindenki ellen. Úgyhogy meglátjuk. Most úgy néz ki eddig, hogy jó döntés volt kiszabadítani, de lehet, hogy ő okozza az egész járványt. Vagyis hát biztos, hogy ő okozza a járványt, elvileg ő is tudja megszüntetni. Meglátjuk. Indítom a játékot, átmegyek a másikra, mert még ott lehet baj a kamerával. Nem jött jó, de jó. Akkor nagyon jó. Na, tehát indítom a játékot, és akkor elméletileg minden jó lesz. Ha most kapok egy kék halált, meg crash-sel, meg minden, az azért van, mert a monitort fejjel lefelé állítottam. Vagyis hát állóra állítottam a másik monitort. És ha valami nem jó, akkor az változott, akkor mindjárt jövök vissza. Senki se pánikoljon, jó? Elvileg nem lesz baj. Szuper. Azt arról akartam meggyőződni, hogy van hang, meg minden van. De minden van. Jó van, felvétel is nagyon megy, minden nagyon megy. Kezdjük. Avowed. Folytatás. Hát. Ugye egy crash-sel fejeztük be. Úgyhogy remélhetőleg ott kezdjük, ahol abba hagytuk. Ha nem, akkor egy kicsit visszábbról. Nem, ott kezdjük, ahol abba hagytuk. Jó. Jó, egy kicsit felvesszük a párbeszéddel a vonalat. Ja, igen, itt repített vissza minket, ugye?
What happened to the living land started long ago.
Okay, jó.
And we're going to finish it.
Are you seeing this? I don't think parodies look like this when we left it.
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big this quickly, do they?
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks.
2-3 hét.
For once, I wish I wasn't. Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time, assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a
Hát
body
én
fights an
szerintem az között
infection.
nincs különbség,
The
de
fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. Feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel Garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Ringgrim is here. Perhaps we get to see an archmage in action.
Igen, ez nagyon rajta van a izén, főmágusokon.
What a strange reunion this will be.
The Blessed Wardens are here too.
Kíváncsi vagyok, hogy most ezzel hát most 2 órás stream lesz, mennyi az idő, fél 11, akkor még másfél órás stream lesz, hogy ez alatt hogy ez alatt az idő alatt be tudjuk fejezni ezt a játékot. Én úgy tippelem, hogy már a maga a fősztoriból nincs sok.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapado?
I'm not sure. That's good, right?
It's a relief that the dream scourge won't be a problem. I only hope we can say the same about
Hát
Sabado.
azt előre nem fogjuk
Time
látni,
will
az
tell, I
biztos.
suppose.
After all this time, they're free. And the living lands is free to heal.
We've cured the land, and we've even freed a caged god. All in all, rather a successful day.
Then we had better keep Sapadal calm, starting with a ceasefire.
We march on still. We run, but we are not yet truly free.
We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of whatever storm is brewing down there.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
Sansa, how did you make it out here?
They marched in with no warning. I couldn't think. I just ran.
Easy. You're here now. Where did they come from?
De most mi miért oda megyünk?
Why is there snow here?
That's gotta be Ringgrim's work. I heard she made him strike the shatter skull. The envoy. Is that you?
Na lát. Szeretnél valamit? Biztos
Envoy, how did
szeretnél.
you... I don't know. Where did you come from? You just appeared out of nowhere. Once word about Paradis reached us, we were allowed to go. But listen to me rambling. Forgive me, envoy. I won't keep you long. I just want to make one
Na lökjed,
request while
válaszolok,
you're
ha
here.
tudok.
As much as you can. Be good to the living lands.
Jó, az nem ez.
Yes, but more than that, I'd just like for us to live lives that are free. For us. Not Adir to determine our fates. It's going to be up to you, envoy. I know you have much to do, so I'll just leave you with that. Thank you.
Tibi.
Envoy? Is it really you?
Aha.
Mihala
Meglepetnek
told us you
tűnsz.
went into some place called the Garden to seek a god.
Megvan.
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Makutadek?
The origin of the dream scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak. It's been weeks.
Hát, ja, mondjuk az nem
What
lenne
happened?
hátrány.
Finally, a ray of sunlight shines through the storm cloud.
I will not grovel at the envoy's feet for solving a plague I am not convinced was real.
If you wardens ever bothered to pull your heads out of your asses, you wouldn't take such pride in your ignorance.
You know nothing of me or my people, you fucking pirate!
Warden Commander, look around you. Is this really the time?
We believe the dream scourge was a malady of the soul. How did you put an end to it, envoy?
Szia, Lady. Jó reggelt. Az simán lehet egyébként csak a Twitchnek a hibája is. Nem tudom. Az előbb nekem is furcsán viselkedett, mármint úgy... Nem mindegy, nagyon furcsán maradjunk annyiba. Azért is kellett újraindítanom az egészet.
Sapadal was responsible for the dream scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over. Dream thralls still litter Shatterscarp.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do
Ja,
for those
telefon volt.
already in the grip
Értem.
of the dream scourge.
Jó, nálam biztos, hogy a Twitch-el volt baj. De megoldódott, úgy
This
néz
will be
ki.
a process. The dream scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but.
Hát igen, a gyors megoldás minden, csak nem gyors. Ez többnyire így szokott lenni.
Freed them.
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Nakutedek was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
We saw similar destruction at Nakuku Bell. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
Let's hope they don't decide to further amend themselves by coming for our heads.
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Sapadal's power ravaged my people. I don't know that I can ever trust it.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nanru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now.
Hát oda nem, de akár még el is
pressing matters
pusztíthatjuk.
to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked Paradise. Inquisitor Ludwig has already joined the battle.
Az biztos, hogy nem.
Traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwig's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
Ó, akkor visszatért.
Let's keep the
Nagyon jó.
similes to ourselves.
Akkor valószínű, hogy mérges.
Oh, cheer up. You wouldn't be the first to make that mistake. Might not be the last either, depending on how things
Kinyírjuk
go.
megint, az nem probléma.
So long as her passion for
Egyszer sikerült,
Wodka
másodjára is fog.
lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
Könnyű lesz. Ó, van,
It is
legyen.
not, I think, impossible.
I couldn't agree more.
Ludwig has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response.
Mikor is
What
érnek
will
itt
his
ezt tulajdonképpen?
representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwig, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand.
Igen, csak többnyire ostoba, legalábbis az eddigi beszélgetéseink alapján. Vagyis hát olyan szűk látókörű, inkább így mondanám.
Indeed, we are already
Bár most egész jól felfogja a helyzetet. Az első beszélgetésünknél ez nem így volt.
Oh, envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
Though I'm hardly eager to work with any of you, I like the idea of twisting beneath Adir's boot heel even less. But the wardens cannot continue their vigil without water. If the others would fix our aqueduct, we're in.
It's a nice idea, but consider the costs. If we walk away from a relationship with Adir, we're leaving a lot of trade on the table. But the people of Thirdborn have friends in the world. I'm sure we'd find our way through.
With the Envoy's support, we'd have a god in our pocket. What could the Empire do to stop us? Together, we could repair Thior and create such miracles of animancy the living lands will become the envy of the world. It would be the honor of my life to stand with my people beside you all.
We deserve our autonomy, even if we must fight for it. Anything less would be surrender.
Fleeing someone else's laws and authority is one thing, setting up your own is another. We're an island of misfits and dissidents. We'll still have to surrender some of our autonomy, and we won't agree on what that means overnight. We'll be vulnerable. Without allies, other powers will see us as ripe for the picking. Know that this is a hard road to walk.
We were fine before Adir came. We'll be fine when they're gone.
I think we ran things perfectly fine before your kin got here.
Of course. Well, don't leave me in suspense.
Egyesült.
Oh, gods have mercy.
Solus and her wardens stand vigil with the living lands.
By grit and steel, Thirdborn stands with the living lands.
Thior and her animancers stand with the living lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
God, they made the right decision for once.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Stilgarot. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
The living lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Ludwine must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
Na, ezt már szeretem. Mindenki fel van tüzelve.
One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Show them that the living lands will not be broken across Vodka's knee.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza. May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Na, úgy néz ki, hogy toboroztunk egy kisebb sereget. Egyesítettük az élőföldet. Na, hadd szóljon. Kinyírjuk azt az inkvizitort, remélem most már végleg. Na várjatok, megnézzünk fejlesztést, mert úgy néz ki, hogy van. Ezt azért meg akarom nézni, hogy mi. Na, mi az?
I'm feeling that now.
Hát,
seems like a
igen.
good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Getting to see that vision of Tama did me good. Like, I finally let go of something I'd been holding too long. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through.
Hát lényegében Szabadár rendbe rakta a lelküket.
Waiting. Same. I'd rather have good company in a prison than paradise alone.
I had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see Yonko again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows.
Na pontosan ezért nem tudom eldönteni, hogy a Szabadár jó, vagy nem jó, vagy mi van vele.
Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
De nekünk azért segített, nem kicsit, ezzel az egésszel.
So much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. Truthfully, I didn't come all this way searching for my own answers. But I found them. Or perhaps they found me. Now, it's like there's a new path laid out before me. A life after the dream scourge. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death. So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
Hát az biztos. Jacli, na veled Mizu.
A lot's happened. But here we are.
Ne is
I just
hazudj.
need a moment to take it all in. Thank you, dearie. I'll be ready by the time the fun starts. And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure our enemies would agree. We'll be fine. I can't speak for anyone else, though.
You've listened to all of us. How about you? You've been through a lot since you arrived. You've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued by gods, bureaucrats, and a death guard. You've had your soul poked, your loyalties questioned, and your sleep regularly interrupted by a god with no respect for privacy. And yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
You're very resilient. Under different circumstances, I would credit your nature as a godlike. But we all know better. You're strong enough to survive anything. Sabadal picked a good soul when they made you.
That actually made sense to me. As if I've learned something about souls and whatnot.
I'll take that as a compliment.
How about you, Envoy? What keeps you so stoic in the face of everything? Oh, you tease.
When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall bear. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you found your own killer and turned him in. It's rare to choose justice over vengeance, especially in the living lands. But you stood by your principles. I think that's where you get your strength.
I didn't know much
Szépen
about you at that
összefoglalják
point.
egyébként az eddigi
You were traveling
történeteket.
with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm, how you listened to my shouting match with the governor and actually heard me. And when they burned my home, you gave me another one. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those sporlings. You got my priceless face. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time.
Tényleg sokkal jobb lenne, hogyha beszélne a karakterünk, annyira nem jó, hogy ilyen néma.
Oh, did your heart just grow a little?
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living lands suddenly at peace.
Just this once. Could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Right. We could all use some beauty rest. We'll want to look our best on the battlefield, won't we?
Before we turn in for the night, I'd like a word in private. Nothing serious, just planning out the rest of my life.
Sleep well, my friends.
Na, nézzük, mit tudok fejleszteni. Jó. Ezt mondjuk, igen. Na, csináld, akkor legyen védelmünk. Kelleni fog. Sárkánybőr. Azt szerintem nem tudok craftolni, vagy... Hát annyit nem. Nem, az nagyon sok. Ez megvan, az is. Jó.
I can't wait to give the Steel Garrote a piece of my mind. The reckoning is long overdue.
You're gonna give him a lot more than a piece.
Na mondja, hogy Giata, aztán menjünk
All this
harcolni.
time I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake.
Ja igen, ez kiderült, hogy az
And
az.
in a way they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapodal's. No, nothing should live in a cage. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god.
Jó, ez
When you
jogos.
speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us,
Aha.
it's unimaginable. No animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me.
Dehogy nem.
I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong. Of course I can. But now, I can do them for the right reasons. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand. And it's creepy, but wonderful. They probably won't even notice me. But stranger things have happened. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand?
Hát ja,
Sapadal
amúgy
is
igen.
healing. Maybe the island is healing too. On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want, but there are too many variables to consider. What do you think?
Ez egy jó kérdés.
I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right.
Persze, hogy igazam van.
So be it. Starting today, I don't have to live up to anyone's example.
Ez így
Animancy
van.
can be whatever I make of it.
Na végre Giata, fölébredtél.
I know they
Az
would
biztos.
be. And not just because some ancient plans told me so. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giata Castel, so I'd better make it count. Hey. you
Hát
helped me
mondjuk,
through a
hogyha
very
átváltozol
difficult time.
inkvizitorra, akár több
I
életed is
just
lehet,
wanted to
csak
say thank
mondom.
you.
If anyone's gonna lead the way
No.
for animancy, I can't think of a better fit than you.
Oké. Harc. Oda megyünk. Gyertek. Jön mindenki? De jó, 4-en vagyunk. Biztos? Ja, 4. Király, akkor miért adtak ki, hogy csak 2-en jönnek? Na mindegy. Aha. Jó, hát ez annyira nem nehéz így eddig. Azért nagyon kellett az, hogy felerősítsük a felszerelésünket. Kicsit könnyebben megy a dolog. Jó,
Get off me!
Mondjuk ez az isteni képesség, ez tetszik?
Nice work.
De viszont nekem nagyon nem tetszik, olyan, mint hogyha a V-Sync nem lenne bekapcsolva. Miért is bekapcsolva? Hát de én azt érzek, akkor... De miért nem engedi? Jó, ezt most így... Hajmák. Most jó. Na tehát, fogalmam sincs, hogy ez most mi volt, mi történt, meg ilyenek. De csinált egy nem kis gubancot ide az egész. Mindegy, most visszacsináltam mindent, elvileg jónak kéne lennie. De nyilván megnézzük játékkal. Istenem, mindig van valami nyűg, meg probléma. Bár mondjuk csak a Avowed-nál jelentkeznek ezek. Amúgy. De javítsatok ki, ha tévedek. De nekem úgy rémlik, hogy többinél nem volt baj. Eddig. Na. Pillanat, több dolog is van, amivel át kell jönni ide, hogy lássátok, hogy mi történik. 2 pedig hangot kell adni, hogy halljátok, hogy mi történik. Ó, nagyon jó. Beállítás, racing, miért nincs? Mindegy, most nem fogok ezen görcsölni, folytatás. Igen, de azt a videókártya frissítés meg is oldotta. Akkor az volt. Viszont most ez, nem tudom, de az Avowed-nál egyébként mostanában többször van problémám. De most a racing sokkal jobban zavar, amúgy. De mindegy, ezt most már végigcsináljuk így. Ja. Na tényleg ezeket lehet halmozni. Az is jó, az is mehet, az is. Mi van még? Teli vagyunk mindenféle erőnövelővel. Hadd menjem. Hogy? A Robin Hood. Takadálnak, ez az új képessége, ez nagyon belül. Tetszik.
Don't worry about the Eastern Gate. I'll protect your back.
Aha, jó. Te veled itt mi van? Túléled?
The envoy. Of course you'd be the last face I see. I guess I shouldn't be surprised to see you here.
Ja, ez a kapuőr, mi? Vagy nem?
The fucking Paradise militias, what happened? They decided to take their rage against Adir out on me.
Oh, az gond.
But never mind that. That isn't what's important right now. You've declared yourself for the enemy. You've turned your back on Adir, on the Emperor. Again. I don't understand.
Kell mindent megérteni, amit én csinálok.
What right do the others have to be here? Because they landed some number of years before us? Does that mean they deserve it?
Hát amúgy...
You won't stop us. Even if I'm food for worms. One way or another, these lands belong to Adir.
Nem igazán. Felszabadítjuk ezt a földet.
What was that?
It's worth the run!
Hol van?
I was worried for a second.
Na, tovább. Már várom azt a Inquisitort.
Another soul for the reader.
Bocsi, te. Tudom, legyőzted volna, ügyes vagy, mint minden. Tényleg? Na jó, ha már ennyire integetsz. Mondja.
What exactly do you think you're doing? You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you. Fighting the steel garrote. What have you got to say for yourself? Well, at least you're alive. Try and keep it that way. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. War is a damn bloody mess.
Hát nyilván.
You're damn lucky to be one of those few. At least for now. I can't say I approve of you leaping into the fray, but it's always nice catching up with a former patient. Wait a second. Jada? Jada Castell? What are you doing in the middle of this?
Surviving. It's good to see you, Liviana. Unfortunately, we're on a tight schedule. Do you need anything? Money, supplies?
Once this is over, I could always use another pair of hands at the clinic. The invitation's still open.
Thank you, but I've decided to tough it out as an animancer. On my own terms. Can you manage without me?
Are you kidding? I'm happy for you. Besides, I've got Chico on bandage duty. I just wanted you to know there's a place here whenever you want it. Gods be with you, Envoy. For my sake, try not to die a second time.
Nem fogunk, nyugalom. Volt valami... Jaj. Jó, szétlútoljuk a halottakat, az nem túl illő dolog, de jó van, háború van. Aha.
In the eyes!
Just go. I've got the plaza.
Ennyi? Nagyon jó.
Teach you!
Politika demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
Let's pay Ludwig one final visit, shall we?
Jó, persze benne vagyok, csak hadd nézzek körül, mert kezdek kifogyni a potikból. Az meg eléggé gond. Mert egy varázslónak, ha elfogy a manája, az nem jó. Cső, inkvizitor. Itt hát, csá. Megint beszélgessünk.
So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? You'll get your chance. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
Don't insult my intelligence or my commitment to the cause. Treaties can be burned. The hands which shook over whatever deal you struck can be lopped off at the wrist. As for you, Sapodal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live. Do not patronize me. I have every right to put down a threat to the Empire. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
And this time, we'll finish the job.
You really believe you can kill me? Do it then. Kill me as no one ever has. Hold nothing back. Give it your all and destroy me.
There's no coming back this time. Prepare yourself for the next world.
You won't be missed, Ludwig.
Once I'm done killing you, your god of blood.
Let's finish.
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
Hát ide, nagyon sokat. De ezt mindegy.
Queen among queens! Send for your aid!
Oh. Hé, ez most miért tölt vissza életet? Az nem jó fej. Au. Most ez egy jóval erősebb. Most ő is belead mindent, úgy nézem. Na várjatok. Te mi vagy? Jézusom! Jaj, ne! Az gond. És egyből kettő is belőle ráadásul, nem csak hogy undorítóak. Au! Hallottam, mocsok. Megint? Ó, hogy komorodj meg. Akkor kinyírjuk az inkvizitort, nem érdekel. Sehol.
No! Don't abandon
És már megint mi fog kijönni belőled, kedves inkvizitor? Jézusom, ez most nagyon nehéz. Amúgy, nem tudom, milyennek tűnik, de nehéz. Az, vissza, az. És az. Senkit, vágod? Senkit nem fogsz idézgetni most már. Pusztulj meg! Au. Vajon ez most már a vég? Nem merem azt mondani, hogy igen.
Wherever Ludwig is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for, but we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel the wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Ez nekünk mit jelent?
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle.
Úgy néz ki, hogy meg
You
vagyunk a
feel
sztoriba.
Sabadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradise militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The dream scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. Thanks to you, the living lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. Paradise's rebels cannot accept your version of independence. After the assassin Egwolf died in custody, only a few of his people ally themselves with the United Settlements. To them, you will always be the oppressor.
Jó, hát nem mindenki örül, na.
Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder. Scavengers avoid the ruins, fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale. For the people of Shatterscarp, independence is bittersweet. Those who cannot withstand the grief inflicted by Ringgrim's spell leave the settlements, vanishing into the wilderness. Those who remain find themselves forced to cooperate with others, often begrudgingly. With so many dead, the need to stave off hunger outweighs any distaste for certain trading partners.
Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first. But after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the living lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets.
Jó, akkor az is végül is jóra fordul.
The living lands, he is no longer running. For the first time in many years, he can face the future. He returns to Rawatai, committed to peace for his people, those he left in Rawatai, as well as those he found in the living lands. He joins the Ranganui's council, counterbalancing powerful voices of isolationism and hawkishness. It is a long and difficult battle, and he is happy to fight it. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradise and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, he joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up.
Pedig hát, ha tudnák.
Giada continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the living lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony with nature. The dream of Fiorma's lives on in her. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yatsley returns to the Animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilici, she helps him and the Animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior Messiverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yatsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never goes away. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sapadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced.
Akkor végül is jó döntés volt ez a szapadálos vonal.
Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god.
Ennek örülök.
Sapadal has
Bár voltak
questions
kétségeim.
about what happens tomorrow, and the day after. You do your best to keep them calm, until the voice in your head is little more than a polite whisper. After everything you've been through, you don't mind the company. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
Na, hát akkor eljutottunk a végére. Hú. Átlépem most a táblistát. Na, Hát ez úgy néz ki, hogy akkor mégiscsak egy jó döntés volt, bármennyire is úgy éreztem, hogy nem, hogy kiszabadítottuk Szapadát, és nem pedig legyőztük. Ugye azt is lehetett volna, elvileg. Ja, tanulságos história van azért ennek az egésznek. Meg jó. Nem tudom, hogy akik szidják ezt a játékot miért, tényleg. Szerintem egy élvezhető kis szerepjáték, tök jó fordulatos sztorika, úgy bele tudja magát élni az ember, megképzelni úgy az egész világba, úgyhogy jól megcsinálták. Igen, hosszú volt, nem tudom, hogy hány óra volt összesen, majd ezt összeszámolom. Fogalmam sincs, de szerintem egy ilyen, hát egy 20-30 órát szerintem el voltunk vele. És ugye ez csak a fő küldetések, szóval nem mentünk bele nagyon mellékküldetésekbe, még rengeteg dolgot lehet csinálni a játékba, hogyha mindent meg szeretnétek csinálni. Szerintem egy ilyen, hát nem akarok sokat mondani, de egy 100 óra játékot biztos, hogy kínál. Ja, úgyhogy aki szereti a szerepjátékokat, annak nagyon ajánlom, mert tényleg egy nagyon jó játékról van szó. Na itt vagyok újra. Van tippem, hogy mi okozza ezt az újraindítást. Szóval ennek a megoldásán ma még dolgozni fogok, hogy nem kell pánikolni. Meg lesz oldva. Nem tudom, hol tartottam, mielőtt megszakadt. Ja igen, az, hogy jó volt, meg szép volt, meg minden volt. Közben itt átrendezgetem egy kicsit a... Ja, jó volt a lezárás is szerintem. Azt hittem, hogy egy kicsit ilyen elkapkodott lesz a történet, de jó volt ez a boss fight a végére. Igen, most nálam lesz sajnos Lady, majd mindjárt. Vagyis hát nem mindjárt, de ma még ezzel fogok foglalkozni, hogy rendbe rakjam, mert ez így nem lesz jó. Megnézem majd a többi játékot is, hogy csinálja-e, vagy most ez csak a Avowednál tisztelt meg ezzel. Meglátjuk. Na, elvileg most vissza is rendeztem közben mindent. Na, hát akkor a Avowed sorozatnak így ennyi, mert én a mellékküldetés meg az ilyeneket már nem fogom csinálni. A fő történetre voltam kíváncsi, nagyon. Igen, most már jó. Van ötletem egyébként, hogy miért csinálta most ezt, szóval majd ezzel foglalkozok délután. Tehát majd este meglátjuk. Este jövök vissza Assassin's Creed Shadow-val. Pörgetjük tovább, folytatjuk tovább. Még van millió egy dolog benne, amit meg kell tennünk, csinálnunk, és végig kell járnunk 2 karakterutat is, úgyhogy abba is lesz egy jó pár óra. Nem, most nem a Twitch, most nálam volt valami. Gebasz. Ja, ezt a videót összevágom úgy, hogy jó legyen, első körbe. Aztán megy fel YouTube-ra még ma délután, feltöltöm, és akkor ott megtekinthető lesz. Normálisan elvileg. Aztán, ja, ez ennyire sikerült ez a mai. Úgy nem tart így délig, ne haragudjatok meg miatta. De legalább így nyugodtan csinálok kaját. Na, köszönöm szépen, hogy itt voltatok, és hogy végig kísérteitek ezt a kalandot velem. Szerintem még mindig nagyon jó. Tényleg, aki szeretné, játszom vele, mert nem fogja megbánni. Ugye van több kaszt is, nem csak varázsló, azért lehet még okosakat csinálni, teljesen más döntéseket is lehet hozni, lehet harcolni Istennel is, ha ahhoz van kedvetek, kinek mi. Úgyhogy ja, találkozunk erre. 9 órakor jövök most majd, nem 10 órakor kezdek. Legalábbis eddig így néz ki, hogyha valami közbe jön, majd ezt Discordon úgyis jelzem. Úgyhogy, ja, előjáróban ennyi. Köszönöm szépen, hogy itt voltatok, tényleg ne felejtsetek el lájkolni, hozzászólni, feliratkozni, meg minden, de ezt már úgyis tudjátok. Este találkozunk, addig is szép napot nektek, jó étvágyat az ebédhez, és sziasztok!